What risks are you preparing for? It's an important question. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Kylene.
And I'm Jonathan, and we are the Provident Preppers.
The first step in developing an emergency preparedness plan is to evaluate your risks.
In this video, we will give you some ideas and some pointers to help you identify your risks and create a plan to allow you to mitigate those risks and reduce the hazards to your family.
Let's take some time to talk about risk assessment. Sometimes we get very busy preparing and we're really not sure what we're preparing for. And so we encourage you to take some time and figure out what are your risks and what is it that you need to be preparing for. This video is based on the Provident Prepper Risk Assessment. What threats should you prepare to survive? And we have an exhaustive list of things in here. It may not be all inclusive, but it's got a lot of things for you to think about and decide if these are things that you need to worry about or not. Location is one of the biggest factors that you need to consider. Your geographic risks are things like volcanoes, earthquakes, snowstorms, extreme kinds of weather, hurricanes, tornadoes, those kinds of things. So your geographic risks are one category of risks that you need to consider and plan and prepare for. We want to make sure that we mitigate those risks and reduce them any way we can. So first of all, as we mentioned, you have to decide what those risks are, and then you design a plan to address those risks, and obviously then you implement that plan. And that implementation includes acquiring things, acquiring knowledge, and sharing that knowledge and practicing. And probably the most important, and the one that we always hammer on, is make progress. As long as you keep making progress, you're okay. Sometimes we get frustrated when life slows us down or we just can't focus on it as much as we want. But if we keep making progress, we're going to get there.
It's really important to prepare for basic necessities, and that covers a tremendous amount of the different risks that you may face. Food storage is an important element in preparing for many of the risks that you will face. If you go to theprovidentprepper.org, you will find lots of information that you need to know so that you can prepare better. Things on water storage and food storage and emergency heating, sanitation, everything that you need to know. So go ahead and visit theprovidentprepper.org to learn the specifics. But when we talk about risk factors, there are some basic necessities that you need to cover, and that is in that original post that we talked about, to prepare for the majority of these risks.
Of course, one category is the natural disasters, things like wildfires, extreme weather, whether it's snowstorms or tornadoes, hurricanes, volcanoes, landslides. There's a whole series of these, and each area is going to have their own unique set. And if you're not sure which ones you should be planning for, you can talk to your local county or state disaster management agency. They can give you some really good pointers on what your risks are. Most of the time you know what those are because they're inherent in that area that you're going to be in or live in.
Do not mess around with Mother Nature. If you battle with Mother Nature, you are never going to win. So make sure that you are very careful about identifying your risk for natural disasters and mitigating.
Public health outbreaks is another risk that we're all subject to. This is a picture from 1918, the Spanish flu. I just finished listening to a book on this, and it was just a horrific event happening at the same time as World War I. What a tragic event. They don't even understand the number of people that died, but they were saying 100 million. That's just a staggering amount of people that died from this one event. So this is something that you need to plan for, and probably the most critical thing here is your ability to isolate your family and keep them away from other people. Obviously, you can't do that. If you have to go get water, if you have to go get food or other things, you don't have the ability to just isolate yourself in your home and protect yourself in large measure from these kinds of things.
So be prepared to self-quarantine and have all the supplies that you need in your own home to not go out to the store for any reason.
There are also terrorist or war-related events. A lot of these things we have no control over, but we do have control over how we can prepare and protect our families.
If you go to the article, you'll find some different ideas of things that you can do to mitigate your risk. It's a horrible event and you can't mitigate for everything, but you can take some steps to lessen the effect that it has on you and your family.
Man-made events are another critical thing that we need to prepare for, and this includes all kinds of things such as hazmat, spills, civil unrest, economic collapse. There's a whole myriad of these kinds of things.
The end of the world as we know it.
Yes.
The American Red Cross actually says that a house fire is the #1 disaster that they respond to. So we strongly encourage you to prepare for the #1 risk, which is the house fire.
Now the power is in the plan. Once you have a plan and you're working that plan, you have that peace of mind of knowing that you're doing what you can do. Obviously, we determine that risk. We've talked a lot about that. We design a plan, and we have some action plans that you can use to help you, and in addition to this resource that we're providing right now.
So go to theprovidentprepper.org, and up on the top menu bar, there's a menu item that says action plans, and you'll find some action plans there that can be very useful to you.
And then implement the plan, and practice and revise and repeat. Now this sounds like a huge process, but we know that all of us have very busy lives. There's a lot of important things to do. We don't have the time to spend all day working on these things.
And we should not.
And we should not.
This should not dominate your life.
We need to have balance. All we're asking is for people to put just a little slice of this into the big pie. And if you do it steadily and consistently, you'll make progress, you'll have peace of mind, and things will get done. And then you need to relax and enjoy your lives. This is all about a balance.
See those cute little faces right there smiling at us? That's why we do what we do. It would be tragic for us to spend all of our time working on preparing to mitigate our risks and sacrifice the time that we have to actually spend with them. So make sure that you have balance in your life.
And this is a good time to point out that these cute little things here are a part of our program. They're involved in what we do. They're involved in what we talk about. They understand how we're going to address these risks. And it's amazing what peace of mind comes to them because they just know that, hey, we've figured this out. We don't need to worry about it. Not that there aren't real threats out there, but we've worked it out, we've figured it out, and we're going to make it. Here are some really great resources. The Provident Prepper, New Urgency to Prepare for an Extended Power Outage, 12 Ways to Prepare to Survive an Economic Collapse, Long-Term Food Storage, Creative Solutions to Build a Critical Asset. These are in the show notes. We hope you'll take a look, as well as just our site in general, theprovidentprepper.org. There's a wealth of information on a whole bunch of subjects, so we hope that you'll take a look and utilize those resources.
Do not allow all the risks to overwhelm you.
It could if you let it. However, as you address these risks, you're mitigating a lot of other risks as well. A good action plan is your key to figuring out what those are and keeping it manageable so that you can make good progress.
And now for the questions of the day. What risks are you preparing for?
And what challenges have you had as you look at the risks and make preparations? Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.